Guilty on all counts, Donald Trump becomes the first U.S. president convicted of a crime. This article comes from Reuters.com. New York, May 30th, Reuters. Donald Trump became the first U.S. president to be convicted of a crime on Thursday when a New York jury found him guilty of falsifying documents to cover up a payment to silence a porn star ahead of the 2016 election. After 2 days of deliberation, the 12th-member jury pronounced Trump guilty on all 34 counts he faced. Trump watched the jurors dispassionately as they were polled to confirm the unanimous verdict. Justice Juan Merchan set sentencing for July 11th, just days before the Republican Party is expected to nominate Trump for president ahead of the November 5th election. Trump faces a maximum sentence of 4 years in prison, though others convicted of that crime often receive shorter sentences. Fines or probation. Incarceration would not prevent him from campaigning or taking office if he were to win. He will not be jailed ahead of sentencing. Merchant thanked the jurors for their service and told them they were free to speak about their experience on the jury if they wished. Nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do. The choice is yours, Merchant said. The verdict plunges the United States into explored territory ahead of the November vote, when Trump will try to win back the White House from Democratic President Joe Biden. Trump, 77, has denied wrongdoing and was expected to appeal. This was a disgrace, Trump told reporters afterwards, as he proclaimed his innocence and repeated his complaints that the trial had been rigged against him. The verdict is going to be November the 5th by the people, he said. Oh, something rigged against him, huh? He didn't like that. Okay, but he can rig things. Trump gave a thumbs-up sign through the tinted window of his SUV, and his motorcade left the courthouse. Trump supporters stood in a park opposite the courthouse along with journalists, police, and onlookers. Opinion polls show Trump and Biden, 81, locked in a tight race, and Reuters LPSOS polling has found that a guilty verdict could cost Trump some support among independent and Republican voters. The jury found Trump guilty of falsifying business documents after sitting through a 5-week courtroom presentation that featured explicit testimony from porn star Stormy Daniels about a encounter she says she had with Trump in 2006 while he was married to his current wife, Melania. Trump denies ever having with Daniels. Oh my God. Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, testified that Trump approved a $130,000 hush money payment to Daniels in the final weeks of the 2016 election when he faced multiple accusations of misbehavior. I believe it. Cohen testified that he handed the payment and that Trump approved a plan to reimburse him through money payments disguised as legal work. Trump's lawyers hammered Cohen's credibility, highlighting his criminal record and imprisonment and his history of lying, just like his boss. Merchant also cautioned jurors to examine his testimony carefully, just like they should have done Trump's. Please, if you can, support the channel. Thank you in advance. The relatively short amount of time jurors needed to reach a verdict was a sign that they thought there was enough evidence to back up Cohen's testimony, said George Grasso, a retired New York judge who attended the trial. A source familiar with the Trump campaign's inner workings said the verdict was expected to prompt him to intensify deliberations on picking a woman as his vice presidential running mate. His campaign website labeled him a political prisoner and urged supporters to donate. Donate to what? a billionaire who said he wouldn't take no payments for president, but that went out the window. Anyhow, Biden campaign, no one above the law. Biden's campaign said the verdict showed that no one was above the law and urged voters to reject Trump in the election. There is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box, the campaign said in a statement. The White House declined to comment. Trump's fellow Republicans quickly condemned the verdict. Today is a shameful day in American history. House of Representatives Speaker Mike Johnson said in a prepared statement. The jury notified the court they had reached a verdict at 4:20 p.m. 2020 GMT and read out loud all 34 guilty counts shortly after 5 p.m. Trump lawyer Todd Blanche asked Merchant to throw out the guilty verdict, arguing that it was based on the unreliable testimony of Cohen. Merchant denied his request. You know, it's amazing how he's considered a liar now, but when he worked for Trump, he wasn't. Trump's near certain appeal is likely to focus on porn star Daniels' salacious testimony about their alleged encounter, as well as the novel legal theory prosecutors used in the case. But he faces long odds, legal experts said. Falsifying business documents is normally a misdemeanor in New York, but prosecutors in Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office elevated it to a felony on grounds that Trump was concealing an illegal campaign contribution. Contribution, and it should be a felony. Trump had complained that he could not get a fair trial in his heavily Democratic hometown, just like it wasn't a fair election. The case was widely regarded as the least consequential of the 4 criminal prosecutions Trump faces. Jurors heard testimony of S and lies that have been public since 2018, although the charges themselves rested on ledger accounts and other records of Cohen's reimbursement. It was known as the zombie case because Bragg brought it back to life after his predecessor opted not to bring charges. This case was also likely to be the only one to go to trial before the election, as the others are delayed by procedural challenges. If elected, Trump could shut down the 2 federal cases that accuse him of illegally trying to overturn his 2020 election loss and mishandling classified documents after leaving office in 2021. He would not have the power to stop a separate election subversion case taking place in Georgia. Trump has pleaded not guilty in all cases and has portrayed his various legal troubles as an effort by Biden's Democratic allies to hurt him politically. He would never plead guilty to anything. He would never own up to anything. And are they making rules as they go? How can he be the president behind bars? He should be facing more charges, people. People lost their lives in that riot he incited on the Capitol because he lost. Sore loser. Remember to hit that like button on your way out. And remember, don't allow anyone to steal your joy.